If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss a video in the future. So it's your first time at Camp Crystal Lake, and you're realizing pretty quickly that no matter what you do, the big man Jason always seems to find you and destroy you. But lucky for you, we have everything you need to get started. Listen to what I say, take some notes, and you'll be running loops around that Jason guy in no time. Let's get started. First of all, before you just dive headfirst into camp, it's important to select the counselor that fits your playstyle appropriately. Each counselor has a different set of stats, including composure, luck, repair, speed, stamina, stealth, and strength. Do you like to play fast-paced, running all over the map, possibly fighting Jason every chance you get? Then perhaps a counselor like Bugsy is best for you, as he's very fast, strong, and has great stamina. That being said, if you're looking to repair things like the car and boat, you'll really be struggling with a player like Bugsy and should perhaps go with someone like Deborah, who has great stealth and repair. Then there's always a safe bet, Kenny, being average in all categories. It comes down to how you want to play and what your goals truly are. Once you find a counselor, it's important to find a set of perks to coincide with your counselor stats. Perks give you a positive and a negative % increase for certain stats, or may let you start with certain items. For example, Sucker Punch increases your chance of stunning Jason with melee attacks, but can also decrease your sprint speed. Perks range from poor to legendary. If you're lucky enough to get a legendary perk, you will receive another positive increase on another stat. For example, this sneaky legendary perk lets me move faster while going through windows and getting in or out of hiding spots, but also decrease my chance of stumbling. Perks like this can also make you a much better counselor and drastically increase your odds of escaping Jason. But how do you get perks? You can roll for a random perk by spending 500 of your CP. If you receive a perk you don't like, you can simply resell it to get some of that CP back. In total, you're allowed to hold 30 perks at a time, however there are a total of 45 perks in the game. It's your choice to pick and choose what perks you want to keep, once again pertaining to your playstyle. So you're going to be spending a lot of CP on perks, so you need to make sure you're doing what you can to earn CP. CP can be earned by simply gaining XP and achieving specific objectives in-game. In other words, the faster you are leveling up, the more CP you are earning. So make sure you are attempting to achieve as many objectives per game as possible. I also recommend diving into the single player challenges, as each objective completed gives you extra CP. CP is primarily used to unlock perks, but can also be used to unlock kills for Jason, but we'll go over that in another video. Okay, so now you got your counselor, you got your perks, and you're ready to take down Jason. Well, hold on fella, there's still a lot to know before you just charge in there. For starters, pay close attention to your stamina bar found underneath your minimap. If this stamina bar runs out, you will no longer be able to sprint and will be stuck at a slow jog, leaving you very vulnerable to Jason. To regain stamina, simply stop moving or limit yourself to just walking. You also want to make sure you know what your objectives are when you first start a game by checking the objectives list by pressing select. Your options to escape include repairing the car, repairing the boat, or repairing the phone and calling the police. The battery, gas, and propeller can be found in random locations on the map, but often find their ways into corners of each cabin. Keep in mind, even if you have no intention of repairing anything, make sure you pick up and drop these items so that they are labeled on the map for your fellow counselors. If you're looking for the keys or phone fuse, these items can only be found in drawers across the map, so make sure you're checking every single drawer in every cabin. Other than the keys and the fuse, you can also find important items in these drawers like med sprays, pocket knives, walkie-talkies, maps, firecrackers, and if you're really lucky, Pamela and Tommy tapes. But just so you know, those tapes are simply for collecting and listening to, and do not actually serve as a benefit for your gameplay. Each of these other items obviously serve a very important role. Med sprays obviously can heal you, pocket knives can be used to disarm traps and let you break out of Jason's grab, walkie-talkies let you talk to players across the map, the firecrackers stun Jason if he's close enough to them, and the map lets you see the entire campsite. One thing you want to make sure is always completed is calling Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis is your hero character with all 10 out of 10 stats, who can only enter the game if he is called on the radio by one of the counselors. In order to find this radio, check the outside of the cabins for a large tower. Whatever cabin has this tower will have the radio inside. Then you can just simply call him up if the power is on. If the power happens to be off, you will have to first fix the generator located on the outside of a random cabin before making the call. Once he is called, however, one of the random counselors that already died will respawn as Tommy. If you're lucky enough to be the one to respawn as Tommy, keep in mind your job is to help the remaining counselors survive. You should help repair, defend, and distract. Also, if you are in the near vicinity of an escaping counselor when you are Tommy, you will earn extra XP. It's a win-win situation, so try not to be too selfish as Tommy Jarvis. Now, if you're feeling really optimistic, you can go for a Jason kill and automatically end the entire game, giving all counselors extra XP. That being said, killing Jason is a little more tricky and is deserving of its own video, so if you're interested in learning how, check the link in the description below. Now, while it's probably not the best strategy to fight Jason, if you do happen to be in that situation, it's important to know what weapons are best for the situation. If you're looking to consistently stun Jason, there are certain weapons you're going to want to primarily use, specifically the baseball bat, the axe, and the wrench. These weapons are the best for stunning Jason and should serve as your go-to weapons when trying to defend yourself. That being said, if you're using a counselor with lower luck, weapons will break faster, making the axe and baseball bat extremely limited. In this case, go for the wrench. Don't forget that you can enter the combat stance by pressing in on your right analog stick. This will let you dodge Jason attacks, block to receive less damage, and swing more aggressively. It's also important to remember that you can also set the traps that are found around the map. Setting these traps at doorways so that Jason may step in them could be the difference in you living or you dying. And for the love of God, make sure you're always closing and locking every door behind you. It's all fun and games until Jason is suddenly trapping you in a room that you had no idea he entered. Once they are locked, keep them locked. Take advantage of windows to get in and out of buildings. Of course, avoid broken windows, as they will cause damage to your counselor. Play safe and play smart if you want to survive. Distracting Jason is a major key to accomplishing certain objectives, with Jason often setting traps at major points, like that of the front of the car or on the fuse box. It's important to make sure Jason is distracted elsewhere before attempting to go through these steps. This can be achieved a few separate ways. Often, players that specialize in speed and stamina can easily distract Jason for several minutes, keeping him in the chase for extended periods of time. This is the perfect time to attempt repairs, but be careful because if you do mess up, Jason will be alerted and will probably morph right to you. You can also distract Jason by turning on radios around the map. These radios serve as a noise-making distraction for Jason, making him believe that a counselor is inside the cabin, and can cause Jason to see the entire house light up when he activates his sense ability. This could serve as just enough of a distraction to save your life. When Jason sets traps around the map, he will hear you if you step inside of one. However, if you happen to have a pocket knife, you can use it to disarm a trap by crouching and slowly moving up to it. Jason will not be alerted if you do this, but you will lose that knife if you disarm a trap with it, so it's up to you if you want to risk that. There's a lot to remember in this game, and playing as a counselor can often be quite tough, but I am confident that you now have the essential knowledge to escape the grasp of Jason Voorhees. So, grab some friends, place some bets, and get out there and show that monster who's boss. Good luck, my friends.